I am doing some sketchbook stuff. I'm almost done with this one. This was one of the first ones that I did when I started really falling in love with sketchbooks. And it's a moleskin art journal. So it's thicker paper. It's not watercolor paper, but it's thicker paper. And you can see that I have filled it with all kinds of designs. Actually, this one I turned into a design on my products on Redbubble. You can get a whole shower curtain of that, which is kind of funny, but I need to do that with some of these others, scan them in and clean them up. But anyway, I have one last spread in this sketchbook. So I was going to work on that with you. I have no real plan except that it's going to be an abstract. So here, and I already put neon. I know it hurts your eyes right now, but I wanted to finish with a splash, so I've got these little palette papers on either side, which is how I work. And then while this is drying, whatever I do on it, we can go through and start on some other ones, which is kind of how I work. So let me set those over here while I think about what I might want to do here. So I've got the reason I put these little sheets in is because otherwise, see, it would, if I started painting, it would get over the other pages and get on the other pages. Look at how that fat and beautiful that is. If the house burned down, I would grab my dog and cat and husband, and the kids have left home, so I don't need to worry about them, but then I would come and get this. All right, so like I said, I am just wanting to do abstract. I think I'm going to do some oil pastel color here and there and just see what emerges. These are my favorite oil pastels. They're reasonably priced and really good quality. The Mung Vo, or Mungyo, made in Korea. I think it's Mungyo, M-U-N-G-Y-O. But I got them at Jerry's Artorama. I'm sure you can get them online too, but they come in so many beautiful colors and they're just really creamy. And I like the texture that you get from oil pastel. This is like a teal. What else is going on? I like to talk while otherwise you're going to get bored. We just got back from visiting our daughter in Austin. And I had in the mail waiting for me, which was really fun, the fabric samples that I ordered from Spoonflower. That's a website, if you don't know, where you can go and buy fabric designed by artists, independent artists. And so, actually, I'll show them to you. It's so exciting. So, I guess it's not going to matter if these get on the bottom. So this is the moonlight pattern, and I need to make it smaller because you can hardly see the pattern. You can only see a couple of the blooms. The Reverie, Ranunculus Reverie, same thing there. I want to make it smaller. This is the Key West pattern, and so these are made by my designs that I've scanned in, cleaned up, and turned into a repeatable pattern. And I called this one Big Blooms. And then this one is Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is actually made from one of my bouquets called Breakfast at Tiffany's. This one is called St. Bart's. I ordered this on, what did I order? It's available in wallpaper too. And this is the Moonlight with the Hummingbird colorway. And then I ordered a bigger piece of this one. It's called Tribal. I really like how they turned out. And the way Spoonflower works is they are available in, I think it's 23 different types of fabrics. So that's always fun. You know, everything from canvas to, I think they do have a couple types of silk. So, because I've had people saying, well, I want fabric, I want to be able to make my own things. So now you can, eventually I'll have more fabrics on there, but that's what I have for now. Okay, this is so fun to play with. When we were in Austin, we went into a purple mattress store and laid on it, and I'm not doing an advertisement, but I'm telling you, this was so soft to lay on. The next time we're looking for a mattress, we just bought one, so it's not going to be a while, or it's going to be a while. I'm going to definitely check them out because it felt so good. But then I saw this sample, and I said, I know what this is good for, and I've already used it. Let's see. Oh, in this sketchbook, I used it. Whenever I see something, I think of what kind of mark would that make? So I used it here and here. So let's try it on this. And so what I did is I painted, what do I want? Maybe yellow? Let's try some yellow. You paint on it and then use it like a stamp. My family laughs. They know that I see things that way, so whether it's a stir stick at Starbucks or whatever it is, I look for things that are going to make marks. I'm going to blot that a little bit so it's not so heavy. And let's see, we'll put that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and then just wipe it off so that all the different paint doesn't dry on there, and then it won't make nice little squares. So I thought that was fun. Let's see, what else? We're going to put more colors on here before I start taking all this down a notch, since it's hurting my eyes. And I've been playing with these. So I love matte color as opposed to glossy paint. And so what happens is with acrylic, it's kind of shiny. It's plastic. That's what acrylic paint is. So I like, that's why I love gouache, because it is matte. And this is one brand that I use, the Liquitex, and then Turner. Acryl gouache has got some acrylic properties, but it's still matte, meaning that it won't dry with that plasticky. And it just has an intensity, I think gouache says. So anyway, I learned about these So-Flats, super matte acrylics, and they are really matte. They're expensive, so I just bought some small ones to play with a while ago. And in fact, I need to do like a video just on these. But let's take some of this, and the colors are super intense. Get my white gesso. And see, look at that tiny bit, and I even added a good chunk of gesso to it, and it hardly diluted the color. So while they're expensive, I have a feeling this little thing is going to last me, because I'm not painting huge paintings with large quantities of paint for this kind of thing. Let's see here, maybe just some shapes. And a little bit more white. You know, and I work in my sketchbook over time. I have a class on Skillshare called Grow Your Art Practice with Sketchbooks, and the idea that really has helped me grow as an artist is using like the sketchbook. It doesn't stop. I go back and like work on pieces within the sketchbook from before. So if I want to, like for example, in this one, I mean this, I don't know how many months ago I did this, but I came back and I wanted some more light contrast, and I put in this yellow oil pastel, and I still want to do a little more. So I'll come through like when I have a little time and say, "Ooh, what does this spread need? Or what do I want to do anything more to this one or this one?" And I like this one, it's a great example. I don't like, pretty much, I don't like this part here. So I learn a lot by coming through and saying, okay, what don't I like about it? How can I fix it? And so I guess I don't know if I'll be done with a sketchbook until I decide that I like each of the, or I'm happy with each of the things in there, and that really that I've gotten what I wanted to learn, or what I think I can learn from that particular sketchbook. Let's see here. Just going to keep adding. I'm going to add some more. This color is really pretty too. This is Naphthol Pink. PHTHOL. I bet you didn't know there was a word with PHTH right after it. I didn't. But it's basically a really intense coral color. I really do like these golden sulfates, they're called. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell how matte. I have to hold it up probably for you to see. Look how dark it looks against the fluorescent. I'm just making marks at this stage. Let's add a little bit of blue and see if we get what kind of purple we get. We might get something really dull, but we kind of need that to tone down this pink eventually. I do like to have a botanical element. I like that fluorescent shining through. I think I talked in my last video about how I'm learning the iPad and taking lots of Skillshare classes, the Procreate, and doing some combination of digital and analog painting. It's having a good time with it. I'm one of those people that likes a lot of different things, which is, I think, a blessing and a curse, because I can't just decide on one type of painting or one style, or, you know, I have to keep it interesting for myself. Okay, let's see what's next. Maybe try some pencils. Got a variety of colored pencils here. A lot of them are water soluble. And we'll just put some different things in here that may or may not show through. I like what that's doing. That's how this process works. You just find bits and pieces. At this stage, there's not much here that I like, but I've learned that that's normal. It'll come later, but there'll be little bits and pieces like right there. That's cool. And you just kind of go with it until more things happen that you like. At least that's my highly scientific. This is helping. I like this. It's kind of toning down that super intense, and it's bringing some really cool texture to that. Blue. This is just, oh, and it scraped off there. I like that too. This is the Caran d'Ache, the Swiss Supercolor Soft, and I have Stabilo pencils here. Let's see if I can get some quieting down with this China marker. It's just a white. I could use a crayon. I could use paint. I like all the different things that add texture. With oil pastel, what I like about it is you can leave it textured, or you can rub it in and get a creamy look. The way that oil paint would give you. I have those water-soluble oils made by Winsor Newton, and I think I did it. Yeah, I did do a video on those. They're really cool for a background. I don't know. For me, to make art is to experiment. And I guess that's why I like sketchbooks. Now I'm just going around to some parts. There's already this teal on my finger, And I'm rubbing in some of this white oil pastel in various places because I like what it's doing, and I like how it feels too. That's how the water solubles feel. They feel like lotion. I could clean my fingers so they don't keep spreading teal if I don't want to. Yeah, I like some of the things that are happening. This is also helping to unify, and the hot pink is peeking through in bits, which was my intention. That was the only plan I had, was that it was not going to stay hot pink everywhere. Other than that, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I love it when it peeks through. Too much of it is overwhelming. Getting some great texture here. That's why this sketchbook is so fat, because there's a lot of layers on some of these pages. And you can see this is toning things down. And then I'll see let me see, where's my little, you can scrape through the oil pastel, which is also super fun. I'm liking what those oils are doing. So it's leaving some places really blended and then some places clear, and I like that, the contrast between those two. I'm looking around here, wondering what else I learned, what I want to do next. Maybe some of this. This won't show up too much over the oil pastels, and that can be an issue. But if I really wanted it to, I would just put some paint over the oil pastels, which does work, and then add this. These are the woody three-in-ones. I did a video on these too. They have metallic gold here, but it's a really deep, it's pretty, but it's not super shiny. When I want to use a metallic gold that'll really show up, which I do a lot of, I use either my Liquitex Iridescent Bright Gold ink, which is getting low. I'm going to have to get some. Or I use, this is a really gold. In fact, let's go ahead and add some of this. The ink, the problem with it is it takes a while to dry. So for a video, it's not the best. Let's see here. But this stuff is like liquid gold foil. It's and this is the cheap marker from Michaels. I've tried fancier ones. All paint markers are problematic in terms of getting clogged and so forth, but this one has great quality ink. See, it wants to prove my point about being difficult. Sometimes you have to get the ink to pour out in another spot and kind of dab it up. There it comes, finally. You can do a couple coats, probably will, because I just didn't want to come out. To get it to go on top of the oil pastel, I don't know if you can tell, I'm taking a really light touch. You're trying to paint it on top of it. I'm liking it better. Deciding if I should stop and let it dry before I do anything else, or if there's anything else it's saying to me right now. I think that's good. I think I'll stop and revisit it another day. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun, and this will be the last page in this book, but that's okay. I have some others that I've already started, of course. Okay, make sure you get some time to create every day something, even if, let me show you what I do if I hardly have any time. I get out one of my sketchbooks and at least do a background color, like that. I paint some gesso with paint. In fact, you can see a couple done here in case I had time to paint in Austin, and that way the background is already done for whatever you decide to do. And it doesn't tax you, so those are kind of the things that I do when I'm either tired, don't feel good, or don't have much time. Something easy like that. Okay. Keep creating.